Understanding a covert narcissist mother and son relationship can be confusing, fascinating, or even disgusting for some people. A narcissistic mother, mother-in-law, stepmother, or grandmother doesn't get talked about enough and is certainly not understood very well. Questions that get missed are: what are the psychological effects on children? Can early intervention prevent long-term consequences? These are just a few of the questions we will explore to gain a clearer understanding of the causes and effects they can have. By the end, you will gain a deeper understanding of how this relationship can impact individuals and families, but also we will provide you with coping strategies. Sound good? Hit the like button to let us know. First, we need a clear understanding of what it means to be in a covert narcissistic relationship with a mother. Psychology Today states this unique type of relationship between a mother and son can be characterized by subtle manipulation, emotional control, and a constant need for validation. The mother may exhibit envy, competition, and a desire to remain the center of her son's life. Some narcissistic mothers are not interested in their children at all, while others are over-involved. I'm sure some daughter-in-laws would agree. Some narcissistic mothers can be aggressive, while others are very caring. Here are 9 common traits that may sound familiar: a lack of empathy, manipulative behavior, excessive need for attention, sense of entitlement, boundary violations, projection, lack of accountability, intolerance of criticism, or emotional neglect. Experiencing these traits can lead to psychological issues including codependency, intimacy issues, resentment, and repetition, meaning some sons of narcissists may develop a narcissistic personality disorder of their own. The fact is that sons of narcissistic mothers have higher rates of narcissism. So let's dive a little deeper into the causes and effects. The relationship between a covert narcissist mother and her son can lead to various effects, including envy and control. The mother may be jealous of her son's relationships and will compete with his partner, leading to guilt and emotional turmoil for the son. Resentment. Sons may harbor deep dislike towards their mothers due to feeling controlled or exploited, impacting their relationships with other women. Grooming for abuse. Children may be groomed to accept and excuse the parents' exploitative behavior, leading to self-blame and internalization of the abuse. Now let's take a closer look at how narcissism affects children, and I warn you now that some of this may not be easy to hear. The psychological effects on children can be profound and multifaceted. Here are some common effects based on Psychology Today. Let's start with emotional sensitivity and their coping mechanisms. Children in such relationships may develop coping mechanisms to survive day to day, such as being overly sensitive to the moods of others and withholding their own emotions. These adaptations, while helpful in unsafe environments, can become counterproductive and interfere with their ability to live, love, and be loved as they grow up. Complex trauma can have long-lasting effects. For example, childhood abuse, neglect, or abandonment can affect children's attachment and relationships, leading to difficulties in forming healthy connections with others. Children with histories of complex trauma may experience dissociation, which can impact their ability to engage with the world around them. Separation from parents due to a narcissistic relationship can have significant psychological effects on children's well-being, as they depend on and need their parents for emotional stability. These psychological effects highlight the deep impact that covert narcissist mother-son relationships can have on children, shaping their emotional well-being and ability to form healthy relationships. Before we jump into some powerful coping strategies, if you're interested in learning more about narcissism and how to deal with it, Consider subscribing as we continue providing helpful videos on this topic. We can provide valuable insights and guidance on understanding and coping with narcissistic behavior. Now let's take a look at coping strategies for dealing with a covert narcissistic mother. A mother's love is a very unique gift in most cases, but dealing with a covert narcissistic mother can be challenging. Here are some steps you can take to navigate this complex situation and prioritize your well-being. 1. Letting go is a good start. Why? It's important to let go of the pressure to keep your mother happy and be a perfect son. Let go of these thoughts and remember that it isn't your job to make your mother feel special, needed, or the center of attention. Show her she's loved when appropriate, but do not make this the main focus, just to appease her. 2. Educate yourself on narcissism and its effects. Being here right now, going through our series on narcissism, understanding the characteristics and effects can empower you to recognize and address its impact on your life. Being able to recognize the signs of covert narcissism in your mother can help you work through the damage it has caused, stop it from continuing, and help you begin to heal. Next, you should consider limited or no contact with your mother, especially if she's abusive or violent. Focusing on the things you can control and prioritizing your growth and happiness is essential. This leads us to our next step. Seek professional help if you are still unsure how to handle your situation. Talking to a counselor can help you understand how your mother's narcissism affects you and provide guidance on breaking the cycle. These steps are important for you to protect your well-being. While you may never have an ideal relationship with your mother, you can take specific steps to protect your well-being and honor your personal needs. Research suggests that early help and intervention can help protect children from long-term harm and support children to develop strengths and skills to prepare them for adult life. Now we need to talk about what not to do when dealing with a narcissistic mother. As you begin to recognize a narcissistic mother, you may try to share your perspective with her. Unfortunately, depending on the level of narcissism your mother continues to exhibit, may limit her ability to engage in authentic and productive discussions. The next thing to avoid is trying to change her. You can't change the past, but you can focus on how you want to care for yourself today and move forward. Also, don't expect an apology. Narcissistic mothers can never admit that they have made mistakes. They will always play the victim. Any missteps made will be blamed on others, including you. Next, you shouldn't compare her to others. Her sense of superiority and inflated ego will either be faced with dismissiveness or defensiveness. In her eyes, she is incomparable and superior to all others. Once you are an adult, you no longer have to be subjected to manipulation or be required to meet her expectations. Growing up with a narcissistic mother may not be easy, and maintaining a relationship may feel too complicated or even impossible. That said, you now have some tools to help you take back control. Even if you can't change your mother, you can change how you respond, adapt, and take care of yourself. To learn more about the 6 signs of a narcissistic mother, check this video out for additional help. It discusses the main signs and how to recognize them. Now let me ask, what are your next steps? What coping strategies will you use? Which ones have you tried, if any? We encourage you to comment below and share your experience as it may help others. See you in the next video.